welcome back to La-Mulana, and before we re-enter the ruins, let's go talk to Zelpud. This sucks. I give up. The stage 2 boss is too tough. It's so unfair. He's got 2 swords. Well, while he worries about that boss, we're going to go and fight many bosses. But first, we're going to take a small detour to the Chamber of Extinction. Because since we're going to fight loads of mini bosses in a row, we want to power ourselves up as much as possible. So, off screen I collected all the bought item, all the bought software down here. But this time we're going to go and collect the final piece of software that we can currently get. And we're going to do that by using the fairy. And we're also going to use this setup to guarantee we get a key fairy. Which is far better than waiting on random chance. Come on, fairy. We're going to lead it to this room, where it's going to open something for us. Bye, fairy. So let's return our software to normal. And let's enter this unknown area. The Gate of Time. This is an 8-bit world, a meaningless world where you're free to go down memory lane. We may as well look at all the different signs while we're here. Bud, Miguel, Lead and Fruit built a flying ship to return the mother to the sky. 8-bit is so hard to read. So this is an homage to the original game that was, they did have this type of graphic style to it. Do I have to? There's nothing written here anymore. What don't you understand about that? The person writing this stuff doesn't seem to enjoy their job. But look, we figured there would be some people who would be upset about the lack of bonuses, so we made this. Will you just let it slide? So this is basically one big Easter egg, but at the same time it is actually something in here that makes it useful. By the way, the fields that were selected for the Gate of Time were chosen based on data gathered in our user surveys. What player-conscious developers we are! Well done! Pat yourselves on the back. We were too lazy to remake the enemy movements in the text, so we didn't. Fair enough. And now let's enter the Gate of Guidance. That's what it's called. Suddenly I forgot that. Steal the sword, steal the shield, crush the helmet, crush the armor. Is this some sort of military theory? I don't get it. I used to talk like this in the past. So there are several secrets down here. One of them is that this shop still exists. This is the Gate of Time, a world of time past. Are there any items you let slip away throughout your adventure? If you wish, I can restore a blundered trap to its original state. But we need to first beat Tiamat to do that. So there are 2 puzzles in the game, the one where we upgraded both of our whips. And if you screw those up and you save the game afterwards, then the only way to get another attempt is to talk to that fairy. So many stone tablets, it's a pain to take notes on each one. Man, you guys are troopers playing a game like this. What was written here? I can't remember. There was actually just a door there in the current version, not sure about the old version. Be good kids and keep buying Nagaro games. Sure thing, I already bought the sequel. I'm a good kid. Imagine if you'd taken all this time to get to the very depths and found nothing. That would have been funny. Luckily, it's not the case, because there is one very important piece of software we're going to get while we're in here. We could have got it right at the start of the game if we wanted to, pretty much, but we didn't. This is the very last stone tablet. Thank you very much for sticking with us this far. That's all, folks. In both the past and the present, I lie here dead. And if we whip this wall here, we can get La-Mulana. A game within a game. Let's talk to Zelpud. Whoa, what's with this mural? It's an 8-bit. What in the world are you doing? That reminds me, the belt in my retro PC's dive disc is all stretched out. By the way, I've hidden the original La-Mulana software somewhere just for kicks. Look for this 8-bit world. I'm heading back to the colourful world now. See you later. Bye, Zelpud. So the La-Mulana software will increase our whip damage while paired with the move.exe. So that's going to be very useful to be able to beat down the mini-bosses we're about to face. I was planning to collect this afterwards, but you know, there's really no point to make it last until then. We may as well get it now since it's useful. Because this part shouldn't be that long. Yeah, this is before it ends up being another hour and 50 minutes like last time. Actually, an hour and 40 minutes. Killed by traps again, just like in the good old days. It's a beautiful thing. So we could just warp out of here, but there's one more thing that I want to show you. Because if you remember, many parts ago, well actually it's probably only about 2 or 3 parts ago. Oh yeah, the spikes damage you by walking into them while you're in this world. What a horrible game this must have been. I kid, obviously. Well, if you remember when we first entered the Tower of the Goddess, I mentioned that you could actually get there by sequence breaking. And it's actually intentional because they designed an achievement based entirely around it. And you can sequence break it by going through the Gate of Time, which again makes this place useful. Oh, did we remember to examine this? In order to hold up the earth, Zeb stop moving. You've already read that. So if we go this direction, if you remember, there is an entrance this way, which usually leads down to the Twin Labyrinth. I don't feel like writing anymore. Yeah, me too, mate. And if we attack this with the dagger to be quick, we unlock some stairs. And these stairs will take us into the Tower of the Goddess. So this is another way that you can get to the Tower of the Goddess early without killing Vi. This place is in pitch black obviously, so you need to work your way around. Now then, it's time for us to actually start making some progress, I think, so let's go to the Dimensional Corridor. So, over here we have the Dimensional Key. Since we have this, we're now able to kill the mini-bosses in this area and they won't respawn. So we have all the main weapons, all the sub-weapons, we're only missing the summoning Ankh there. We can get a better shield though, which we're going to get very soon. We've got all the usable items we can currently get, every single treasure in the game, and all the seals. So we are doing very well. With that said, let's finally enter the Dimensional Corridor. So previously if we killed a mini-boss they would just respawn, but now they stay dead. So we're going to turn off all of this not needed software. And we're going to leave off a ranked because we don't need that. Obtain the Dimensional Key, the place that eternally connects the place where life is born with no end. Thrust infinity there. So So now we do additional damage with our whip, with non-whip weapons, and we have a longer recovery time. Or invincibility time, rather. Stay still, please. This boss usually behaves itself. This time it doesn't seem to want to behave at all. Alright, fine, it's axe time. There we go. So this is just a big mini-boss going on at the moment. But like I said, all the mini-bosses will stay dead, so we only have to kill them for one time. And we also have the lamp to be able to slow time, or stop time if we need to. If we end up having too much problem with a specific mini-boss. Road to treasure. So that's worth noting, so just keep that image in mind, because there are 2 ladders leading up, and there's one more ladder above it. That's going to be in this area, so when we find it, we know that it will reach treasure. 2 vessels. That is very important to keep in mind. This boss is a bit annoying, I don't really understand his patterns. He doesn't have much health, but he just seems to block at random, from what I can see anyway. I'm actually going to quickly swap out some piece of software here to be able to record this, because it's important. So as you can see, there are 2 types of cups or chalices that are being poured onto one of those split gates. And here we fight the most annoying of the mini-bosses, and I'm just going to use time stop here. Because hitting this is really annoying, you can only really hit it one time every time it appears. It'll be quicker for us to just return home and oh, that's so annoying. That was off screen and then it refused to give it to me. When the mother's power disappears, all will be destroyed. There is only one path to survival, that which has received holy blessing. Remember that when we kill Mother, when we kill her soul, all of La-Mulana is going to go with it, that's basically saying. So we need to keep that in mind, because at some point, we're going to do that. Oh, we are so close to a level up, that's not even fair. There we go. I said level up, I meant obviously a full heal. So beneath here is the golden shield, and we need to kill these bosses in a quite specific order, but not that specific. This boss is straightforward enough, we just stand in a safe spot and keep hitting it. Probably not the fastest way to kill it, but it works. I'm just going to stand here and continuously whip this thing. Sorry for the loud sound obviously during this part, but it is the fastest way to kill it. So now we just have to jump up every time they come near and we get a hit on them. One more. There we go. Now let's return to the previous area. There should be another pedestal. There's one. And down here is the final pedestal. And here we finally get the Angel Shield. So as well as being the best shield in the game, because it will continually stay out even if we get hit a lot of times, it's also vital for a puzzle later. And you may have noticed, but we can read something here, so let's read it. And it's another ancient software, the La-Mulana. That software just increases the amount of music that we're able to listen to with this music software. So I believe that's everything we really need at the moment while we're here, so let's continue. This mini-boss is a bit annoying, but we have enough health to just tank it. So it only loses its shield when it charges at us, which basically means we're going to get hit, or when it does a big wind slicing attack. There we go. So we hit the wind here, and then it loses its shield for a bit. But yeah, for the most part, just tanking hits is the best way of killing this guy. So you may have noticed these lights are shining up every time we kill one of the enemies. So after we kill all the mini-bosses of the area, we'll finally be able to face off against Tiamat. This thing is a complete bullet sponge, or whip sponge I guess I should say. But it does a lot of contact damage, so it's a good idea to avoid it. There we go. This gives us access to the final philosopher. I commend you for reaching me, Chosen One. I am Phobos, one of the 4 philosophers. I am the philosopher of life. The mother's power is to create life. In the past, there were those who sought this power, trying to imitate it. Tiamat, Nuwa. None could match the mother. The mother's power can be obtained from the secret elixir of life. The elixir is in the hands of a pure and mischievous spirit. You must visit her. Recite to her the incantation of life, birth. To those that trick you, recite the incantation of eternal rest, death. The mother's power cannot be obtained unless you have the true secret elixir. Go now, Chosen One. And this gives us access, of course we need the correct software to read it, to these tablets. The incantation of life, birth. Recorded the new mantra of birth. The incantation of eternal rest, death. Recorded new mantra of death. So now we're starting to learn the mantras that we've been told about. We can't use them yet, but these 2 are going to be for a puzzle later. To the one who dares challenge Tiamat, if thou survives, I shall grant an opportunity to obtain the secret treasure that slipped through thy fingers. I shall await thee, beyond the boundaries of time. Three shall be lit. The light is dependent upon the number of lives the 11 children have. So this enemy is a bit annoying because he just jumps out of the water and stun locks you. You just end up in the water and then you have to swim up and then he's already underwater again. But luckily we got lucky and he never appeared on top of us. So we are mostly done now. All that remains is for us to get an additional charge. Oh, of course we need to equip the software. You may notice that that just appeared up here. We'll be examining that later, because that has something to do with the mantras. Right now it wants an extra charge on our time-stopping lamp. Because we actually need it to solve a puzzle. Well, we don't need it per se, but trying to do it without time stop is really not recommended. I would just say don't even try, it's just not a good idea. So now it's time for us to go and fight up against another one of the mini-bosses, which has a puzzle attached to it, which is what we have time stop for. I think I went the long way round, because at this point there's a shortcut that's open for us, but I forgot about it. So let's go up here. So this room here you may have noticed from the tablet earlier. Now we need to solve a puzzle while we're here, which is we need to get up to that ladder. And there's only one way up to that ladder at the moment, and that's to pray for luck. Time stop and ride the water current to the top. And here is where we can get screwed over by the way that we get knocked back. There we go, we're safe, luckily. And here we get the final sacred orb of the game. So there is another way that you can get up here if you've already killed the mini-boss, but it requires bouncing off an enemy that's in midair, which is... it's not fun, I wouldn't recommend it. So the key to this little mini-boss here is to just wait until he's moved, and then hit him with the axe a few times. It's not worth trying to do it when he starts attacking, because he attacks too quickly. But every time he goes to a new area, he stays still temporarily. So it's really easy to not take any damage as long as you're aware of that. So as you can see, that water current didn't last long at all, so you can't do it without time stop, at least with a water current. Oh, that was a waste picking up that orb, I shouldn't have done it. Oh well. So there was only one left. So to do this, we actually have to solve a little puzzle. We don't get the hint to the puzzle unless we go to a very specific area that takes probably about 10 minutes to get to. So I'll solve it now and I'll show you where the hint is later. We've seen one of the hints already. So what we have to do is summon the boss by summoning it in 4 different areas that correspond to how the boss was created. So how it works is that it has the voice of a lion, I believe it's the voice anyway, and then it's like the tail or the body of a snake, something like that. This was where we fought the snake, so swing left and right. You may have remembered in the Inferno, Land of Inferno, there was a message that told you about swinging left and right to summon spirits, and that was related to this place. And the final one, because that was the body of the, I forgot it was, lion I think it was. I thought I finished it, where is it? There it is. I thought I had to do it in the middle of the room. And it has the wings of the demon, it's something like that anyway. Even though it really doesn't look like it, so I don't know. This mini-boss is another one of those that's just a better idea to just force it. Which is the same way a lot of the mini-bosses work at this point in the game. You have so much health that it's really just a good idea to try and force. There we go. And there is the Ankh Jewel. So we could go and face Tiamat now, but we have half health, and that is not a good idea. Because Tiamat is a very difficult boss fight. So first off, we're going to quickly go and heal, and then we'll come right back. It's worth saying we still can't use our teleporting chalice here. It's locked until we kill Tiamat. Man, if I'm wrong and it's actually pronounced Tiamat, then I must have sounded like a complete idiot during all of this. Oh well, I said right at the start that I'm an unsophisticated Englishman, so I don't know how things are pronounced. So what we're going to do is get a healing fairy to recover all the health we're missing, because it's quicker than going down to the healing fountain, as long as if we get good luck with the fairy anyway. The healing fairy is supposed to be the most common one, so watch me not get one for like 10 attempts. Well, that's one attempt we haven't got it. There we go. So let's put on all of our equipment to do the most damage possible. So the software setups we have increases our whip damage, increases our other weapon damage, and it gives us longer invincibility times. Why are we going this way? Is a shortcut open? And finally, if we get killed, we will get brought back to life with a short amount of health. Well, that only happens once, so it won't continually save us. Now it's time for us to fight the hardest boss, which is fitting since it is the final one. Tiamat. Or Tiamat. So the easiest way to kill her is to just stand beneath her and jump up and swing. And keep our shield out, since it will stop any projectiles that come our way. Oh, I'm getting hit by a lot of these lasers. We still have a healing fairy for now though, so that's helping. But the healing fairy's gone now. So now we're up to only our own devices. Every time she goes away like this, we just have to hide, because she'll drop a waterfall on us. And she's temporarily invulnerable when she returns, so you have to get used to when to attack, which I'm still not quite used to yet. And now it's the final phase. And here she gets a really big attack that I've never been able to avoid. I'm still going to try it though. Not this one. This one's easy to avoid. Here it is. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know how to avoid that yet. I thought that it was going to start on the other side, so I thought I'd be able to like trigger it to go the opposite direction. Clearly that's not how it works. But she's dead anyway. Congratulations, you obliterated Tiamat, but the adventure continues. And now we can use the La-Mulana talisman to get a cursed treasure. The Magamata jewel, that's probably it. Since we got that, we can now, well, we've now beaten every single guardian of the game. So what's happened? What's happened is there was very ominous music playing in the overworld. What do you have to say about this, mate? Oh no, he's just talking about a talisman we're holding. The wind sure is howling today. So what's happened here is that, as you can see with the skulls there, we have awoken La-Mulana. Which is not a very good idea, but we've done it anyway because we need to kill Mother. I'm just quickly remembering what I need to do now. We're going to turn off all of this additional equipment. We don't currently need it. So now we need to go and get the final piece of software in the game. And the way to do that, I'm just remembering, is in the Tower of the Goddess. We have to come back to this area quite a lot of times now. Because one of the areas we didn't go and visit was through the gate that we opened down here. Because after we killed Palanque, we opened up the bronze mirror gate, but we never entered it. There previously wasn't any reason to, but now there is. So there, the bronze mirror gate opens, but there's also one more thing to do now that we have the gold shield. So you may notice here, this compass is now glowing. Oh man, I just had such a bad slowdown from that then. We're just going to reset this room to get rid of these huge blades. That which continues without end, it is birth, it is death. With this shield, we can now get past this killable door, or this instant kill door, by reflecting the laser back at it. This gives us access to the vessel. The vessel is another usable item. As you can see, there's only one item left to grab, and we're going to do that soon. The vessel is currently empty, but we need to fill it. And as you may have noticed earlier, when he talked about the mischievous spirit, we need to fill the vessel with the medicine. So here is another entrance to the Chamber of Extinction. So we haven't been here yet. We also don't have the map for this place because we don't have the map reading software, I forgot. There is a potion that makes the large spirit visible. Seek the righteous spirit. Oh, I'm trying to trigger a trap. There we go. Ah, that was a fake gank all along. And here we get to fight the two guardians we heard about earlier, Oxhead and Horseface. These guys really don't pose any challenge whatsoever. It's just a formality killing them. Well, unless of course he decides to jump on me, like a jerk. So you notice there is a picture of the Magmata in this room. So if we return here and equip the Magmata jewel, we can raise this platform and activate it there. And that will finally activate the mural that's on the other side we haven't been able to get into this entire game. So we're going to attack this guy like those other statues until he attacks us, and then we're just going to ride him. We don't have to worry about these bats because we're invincible to bats because of the treasure we have. Nuwa sleeps in the last pyramid of the burning land. A philosopher blocks the path. Well, we've talked to all the philosophers, so we're free to go there. So this war's blocked. We can blow it up with a bomb, but there's really no point to do so. It just gives us a treasure chest. So there is a hidden area behind this statue all along. And welcome to the one thing everybody loves. The last jewel lies within something. The jewel glows red from within the key to the something. and that is disappearing blocks. You know what, I hate them so much that I'm not even going to bother, and I'm just going to take this damage. We're just going to wait on this block for a bit, and then we're going to jump, and we'll make it. Because screw doing block pushing puzzles, they are not fun. So this is a part where we can get screwed over by some of these invisible things if they just so happen to go into us while we're trying to jump over that pit. So we currently have the scanning software, and this is where we get the hint towards unlocking the mini-boss we fought earlier. The angry snake Mushu, child of Tiamat, is the strongest demon. It stands protected among the four pillars: the great lion Ugalu, the poisonous snake Ushon, the rabid dog Uramalu, and the storm demon Dabrutu. Awaken the deceased souls in this order: voice, tail, body, and wings. Right, good, we didn't get knocked off by any of those invisible things. So we've now unlocked this, and a shortcut thanks to an invisible thing. The one who challenges Nuwa to battle, the one who drives a wedge into the mother as she rests. Thou art the chosen one, we pray. So we haven't been to this area yet. We've actually unlocked this a while ago, but I never actually went to it because there was no point to. For now, let's activate this mini-boss, Nuwa. She does quite a lot of contact damage, but she's quite annoying to try and jump and hit without accidentally jumping into her. You have to do little jumps. Unless of course she doesn't go down far enough. Oh, I forgot I don't have the correct sub-weapon out. There we go, got a shield now. So when she's hurt enough, she'll start to do this big attack. We really don't want to get caught by that because it does a lot of damage. As I just demonstrated due to my own incompetence. She has a lot more health than I remember her. But we are not doing too good here. Just want to make sure we have the correct software on, because if we get a death blow, we want to make sure that we can survive it. Well, we took our death blow. There we go, we finally killed her. That was surprisingly close. And of course we almost died due to a fire. Now let's make sure that we equip the La-Mulana talisman before we hit this, otherwise we die. And there is the Jed pillar. We have now got every single item in the game. But there is still one more piece of software we have to get. And to get that we need to return to the Chamber of Extinction. So it's time to finally activate this mural that we haven't been able to do anything with the entire game. Since we used the Magmata jewel, this now glows. And we can now scan it. And what we get is the final program of the game, the mantra. Just going to equip the important things. We don't really need the map software actually. That'll do for us. So now that we have the mantra, we can currently see we have birth and death. And we can solve a puzzle with that right now. This will be the last thing we do in this part, and then the final part we will drive the 8 wedges into La-Mulana, summon Mother in the true shrine of the Mother, and then we will kill her. Because it's the only way we know to free her. this leads to the Tower of Ruin. To the one who has come this far, face the last trial, the mother's wish can no longer be granted. Oh wow, I forgot, I'm probably going to die from damage here. Oh well, if we do, then I'll load a save, that's all. So we've already seen which one of these is the nice one, so we're going to cast Death. And this one is also not the correct one, so we'll cast Death on her. Identify the seductress, identify those who are truly pure. And you remember from earlier that these things can't actually hurt us even though they attack us. So to them, we cast Birth. And we actually get the Jet Pillar one, I forgot. And by activating them, we have now made available the medicine we need to finish the game. So let's use the vessel to collect the medicine of the mind. So, rather than waiting here to end the chapter, I guess we should probably go and heal up. That's probably a nice thing to do for him, since he's only got 6 HP before he dies. So, we've collected every single item in the game, all the software in the game, and we're now going to start collecting all the mantras of the game. So we're just going to wait here while we heal, while I tell you to see you later. So, farewell, and be lovely to each other. Fully healed. So wonderful.